Oop.
Morning.
Up then. And he goes away. He said, fuck this shit, I'm out.
He's like, God damn, this shit up.
I'll be moving soon.
Yeah, that's good news.
Yeah, I bought a house. As soon as everything's done and closed, be ready to pack my shit and get out of this shitty.
This is a wise choice.
What's that?
So that's a good choice. City bad. I need to move to a smaller house. Too much crap to do in this one.
I got all my stuff in storage. I sold my other house.
And my next move is gonna be weird. Because I'll be selling all my shit instead of putting it in storage.
Tiny house nation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it'll still be a big house. It'll just be like less than huge house, which is what I have now. I ain't going to the tiny house model. Seven.
Hooray! I'm finally done updating. Holy macaroni. Holy shit, that took forever.
Might get logged in by the time the intro gets done running.
Yeah, I know. Oh my goodness.
Hey guys, just so you know, for the past few weeks, everybody can hear your conversation when we're just hanging out. I just wanted to let you know.
Sweet. Like,
How do?
before the stream started, because the stream started.
Yeah, it's during the stream. It's during the pencil music. You can hear everything.
Hello. Guten Morgen. Bacon? Uh-oh.
Yes, please.
Okay. How about some chunks?
Same. Some of those chunks look really, really good.
They do.
Oh, the flavors.
They really do. And then you got the Canuck. Anyways, where are we at? We're playing some Dungeons and Dragons. We are in session 65? Yeah, 64 of Odyssey. Dragonlords, called Scorpion Island. And it'll be interesting to see what happens today. But we will do an intro, or not an intro, but like a recap, because we had some fun with the fates last week. Yes, and then we'll get into it. So, Arcadia.
Good morning, everyone. We did have some serious fun and an info dump with the Fates. And I am streaming from the civilized hour of 9:36 from Hackensack, New Jersey. So we begin our session the late morning of Friday, our 61st day together. 36 days remaining.
Really quick.
What?
Really quick. What did you name it? How did you call it? How did you call Jersey, the city?
Hackensack?
Okay. Anyways.
36 days remaining of the Oath of Peace.
Hackensack.
Our Ametreus gives the nude old woman, Granny A, the robe that we found in the room. And they know who we are and why we are there. And Demetrius says we have a few questions for them. And Nona, who appears to be the youngest, says, questions, always questions, never answers. And she walks over to the pot and takes out an eyeball and eats it. And Demetrius offers to answer her questions. She asks what lies in the shadow of the statue. And the answer that Arcadia gets is Moxina, the Lady of the Coins, in the Colossus of Pythor. Demetrius asks if they would be willing to answer our questions, and they say possibly, but what would they get in return? He asks them what it is they wish, and the first thing they say is what they deeply desire is a child, preferably female, preferably human or lizard folk. They would not harm her. So Demetrius asks Granny A if she revived him from death, and she says she didn't, but she knows who did. He offers Gravik's head in exchange for telling him who and why, and she says, no, his time is not yet to come. He has to save you first. Then Nico steps up to Granny A and says no one can remember his family except for him. He wants to know what happened to them. And she tells him that Mitros erased his family from all memory. Ametria says, Mitros, like the dead goddess? Or Granny A says, is she dead? I don't remember cutting her string. We find to break the spell, she says, if we find Lutheria's crystal scythe and bring it to her, she can restore their memories. And what did Lutheria have to do with it? She tried to make a bargain with Nico, and he turned her down, and she did not like it. He was foretold to break the power of death. And when Lutheria learned it, she hunted him and his family down. And before Lutheria could strike the killing blow against everyone, Mitros intervened and erased the memory of Nico's family. And then Lutheria forgot her purpose and returned to her throne. So Mitros brings up a good point. If we were to restore their memory, would Lutheria not try to kill his family again? And Granny A says, so you know what must be done then, and which means to kill her. And we're saying that is no small feat to kill a Titan. And Granny A says, but with the power of friendship, everything is possible. And then we ask her if she can give Nico some wisdom or a weapon to help him kill Lutheria. I'm guessing if he is foretold to break the power of death, and Lutheria is the goddess of death, that means he is foretold to kill her. So Granny A pulls out a golden dagger and says she will give it to Nico if he fulfills a task, one of 3 different tasks. And we have our choice. The first choice is to bring a baby girl here to the Fates within 1 week, or bring a living nymph to them within 1 week, or to kill the oracle within 2 weeks. They ask her what the nymph would be for, and the nymph would be a delectable snack. And the child, Granny A's youngest child, needs a mate. He comes out, he looks like a hybrid of a lizard folk and a human. He is not the best looking fella in the world, as she says. And so Arcadia asks if she needs him, either a human female or a lizard folk female, to be his betrothed. And she just says, betrothed, yes. And if Demetrius wants to know who revived him, he needs to complete a different task than Nico's. He asks why they want the oracle to die, and Nona says because she's a filthy traitor bastard who needs to die. She has betrayed her father, Sidon. And they say they care not for traitors. But we ask they say she does parlor tricks. The party has never caught Versi ever being wrong. And then Amitrius asks Granny A, could it be that you are upset that she is capable of these things that you should only be capable of? And in the blink of an eye, Granny A is standing in front of him and says, does it look like we are upset about that little human? And he backs off, says, no, Granny, I must have been mistaken. And she says, that's what I thought, and snips her shears in front of his face and then walks away. She tells Nicodemus that his family is held in Hypnos, where Lutheria's throne room is. And it is also where we can find her crystal scythe and Estor Arculander's weapon. And in order to obtain all of those, we need to kill Lutheria. They ask, Demetrius asks, what would be a good next destination for us? The Fates want something in return. They want some of Arcadia's blood. Arcadia asks them what the state of Themis is, the island nation where she is from. They say Themis is in an uproar ever since you killed one of their leaders. And how they knew it was us was Arcadia's, as she says, love has betrayed her. And she's spreading it to all the tribes. But maybe this is enough to make all the tribes work together and have a common enemy. And Ileana has been telling people that Arcadia has come over to the mainland and colluded with the gods to try to snuff out the rest of the Amazons. And Granny A offers to cut Ileana's thread. She says, if you want, we can end it right now. And Arcadia says no. Then she asks the Fates what the wrong the Amazon committed long ago was. And they said they secretly colluded with the settlers. Even though Arcadia was told, and history says that they didn't take sides, and that is where the wrong has happened, because if it were not for them, the Titans might not have lost. Them to help us. The Fates say you could kill the queen or you could kill your love. Demetrius asks, why would killing Ileana unite the Amazons? And the Fates actually say, we don't know. Interesting. And the reason why Ileana is saying all of this, possibly under the mind control of Lutheria, indirectly because she did see everyone, the party slaughtering everyone during the Battle of 100 Hands. Arcadia asks for clarification that when Ileana said Themis might not be a home for her, and she was just referring to the fact that if she had gone home at that point, Ileana and Hatria were going to be together, and she did not want her to have hope. Then we ask why, Carbon asks, how can the Oracle be removed from the Fates' disfavor? Granny A chuckles and says she knows what she must do. Unfortunately, Corbin cannot do anything personally to help remove her from their disfavor. Demetrius asks how the Oracle would not know that someone's coming to kill her if she can see everything. And in the process, Granny A shows him the Oracle's thread. She lets him touch it, and as he touches it, well, first of all, he looks at it to try to see if it's magic. And he uses his divine sense, and the Fates come up as fiends and the loom as celestial. And they allow him to touch the Oracle's thread, and he gently runs his finger over it and gets a flash of the 30 years of her life, including Corbin naked. He staggers away from the thread in shock. His mind is blown, and he says, by the great stallion, it's real. This is actually the loom with the Oracle's life in it. And the Granny A extends the shears and asks him if he would like to end it. They also ask Arcadia if she would like to cut Hexia's thread. And they offer Demetrius if he would like to cut Brago's thread. Corbin asks if Gaius's thread is in there and asks to see it, and it looks singed, but now we know that Gaius is not dead after being in the lava for several minutes. And Demetrius asks what the point of asking him to kill the oracle if, being fates, they know that he is not going to do it. He said, he already knew he was never going to kill the oracle, and they say, are you sure? And he says, not unless she has done some great evil. Arcadia asks what is in exchange to if she were to cut Hexia's thread, and they cackle and look at her and said, a life for a life. That would be Ileana. She asks, is there a connection between the founder of the Amazons, Otrera, and the stallion god? Because Demetrius had a vision with the two of them in it. And there is a connection. They had a forbidden love. We ask what was the result of that forbidden love, and they don't answer. And Demetrius asks who the stallion god is, where can he find him? They say, we have already met his siblings, the very twins that we now oppose. The stallion god is a Titan, the sibling of Sidon and Lutheria. They also say that the gods are on the loom. So Demetrius is clearly upset and confused. He asks if our futures are already foretold, is there anything we can possibly change what is on the loom? Is there even a point? And they say no. Arcadia asks, what exactly did the Amazons do to change the results of the First War? How did they collude with the Dragonlords? And they say, why don't you ask Corbin? Corbin, unfortunately, does not remember. Gravik asks, what happens to the threads that they cut? And they say, would you like to stick around and find out? He asks, do you discard them? And they say, again, would you like to stick around and find out? We have a special room for someone of your kind. He says, my kind, and looks around the group. He goes, I suppose I don't need to know. And Granny says, are you sure? You could stick around and share in some nymph blood. And that sounds lovely, but no, thank you. So while the party is trying to figure out what nymphs are, to see if they can remember and see if they could, in good conscience, bring a live nymph to be eaten by the Fates, Arcadia just asks, so Fates, what is Gravik? And Gravik looks at Arcadia with his mouth agape. He is of this world, but not of this world. He is alive, but not alive. So Demetrius thinks that maybe he must have died in another world and been reincarnated here. And Arcadia asks, so he is like Demetrius? And they say no, for Demetrius does not require blood to survive, which sets Demetrius off. He starts badgering Gravik, telling him not to fuck with him, to tell him, and he eventually punches him a couple of times until Corbin steps in and tells him to stop, that we would take care of this later. Arcadia asks if there's anything left on the island that would be helpful to us. They explain that a tunnel, one of the tunnels goes to the Underdark, another tunnel goes to the Nether Sea where Lutheria is, and the third tunnel, they say, don't go to the third tunnel, stay away from the third tunnel. Phileans don't know what an Underdark is. We leave and they give us a warning. Your old friend will betray you. As Demetrius pauses before he leaves, he asks why the Oracle sent him to the Fates, and they remind him to seek the wisdom of the Sun God under the constellation of the Chariot. He will help you find your revenge, and that the Sun God will find Demetrius. On their way back to the Ultros, Demetrius says we should talk to Moxina because she is an Amazon who has told us she would help us defeat the Amazon Queen, who is her sister. And just a reminder, Moxina and her sister and Leah and their other sister Nastura were 3 Amazons who were tempted by Lutheria, saying that they would be better leaders and have great power. And so they overthrew the queen, killed all of her kin except for her daughter. And Leah is the queen, the current queen of the Amazons. She was the most ambitious. Apparently, Moxina just went along with it. But then Moxina is in love with Darien, the former queen's daughter. They killed all of the queen's blood, and Moxina spared Darien and won. Leah found that out. She hid Darien away and exiled Moxina, who became the Lady of the Coins in Mitros. So Arcadia has mixed feelings about telling Moxina much because she is a traitor and partially responsible for the Amazons switching to the worship of Lutheria. But they decide that they should probably see if she has some agents, being the head of a large thieves guild, and maybe we can get some intel on Themis. We set the Antikythera to the constellation of the Chariot, but we find we cannot go there, so we decide to go to Scorpion Island under the constellation of the Centaur. And in so doing, we notice, Arcadia notices that there is a constellation of the Nymph. Back on the Ultros, Demetrius tells the party the Fates are demons and the Loom is a machine of the gods. He wonders if the Fates are the evil beings and the Oracle the good being in the prophecy domain. Gravik wonders actually if the Oracle is the fourth sister, but the races and ages don't match. Finding out the Stallion God is a Titan has blown Demetrius's mind. He is certain the gods already knew this because they acted suspiciously when he asked them. When we get back to the ship, Vengeance is very agitated. Corbin talks with her and she tells him she needs more loot. Demetrius puts 2,000 gold pieces on her pile. And Arcadia says, I hope you can get that back. And Demetrius says, how can you say no to that cute face of hers? Look at her little eyes. Kind of reminds me of Arcadia, actually. Arcadia glares at him. Demetrius laughs at her in a jovial manner. Actually, aren't you guys half-sisters? Yeah, you are Vengeance's half-sister, right? I mean, unironically, like, you are siblings by blood, right? Arcadia is thinking and looks very unhappy. Well, that means your bigger sister. You're her bigger sister, so you're responsible for her too. Now, at least that's how we centaurs do it. Might have to teach her in the Amazon ways, because I think she's now an Amazon too, right? Your little Amazon sister who's a dragon? Now he has started teasing her. But we talk about it, and we figure out that Vengeance is actually Arcadia's aunt, and Corbin is Arcadia's grandfather-in-law. You thought Game of Thrones was weird. All right, so with the tale of the centaur and the scorpion, basically there's a scorpion in trouble, a centaur passes it by, the scorpion gets out of trouble and stings the centaur fatally because he didn't try to save her, and he thrashes about and ends up crushing the scorpion, and he says, well, if you didn't seek revenge, you wouldn't be dead, and she says, if you didn't pass me by, I wouldn't have sought revenge. And Demetrius says, yes, indeed, I know that tale well. Corbin says, that's not the tale I know. Nico says, I thought it was a turtle. And Demetrius says, of course, here come these humans out of nowhere stealing our stories. And then, wisdom, Gravik says as he holds a cool compress to his face where Demetrius head punched him. Corbin talks tactics to Arcadia about his newfound abilities, shoots an arrow, sets up some goats first, live goats, shoots an arrow, and it casts Thunderwave, or the equivalent of Thunderwave. So he now has a ranged AoE spell. And Arcadia gives him a few tips because they've only been able to practice on the Ultros, which is not as long as very long range. And so she gives him a couple of tips about how to shoot for long range. Demetrius goes over to Nico and tells him that Demetrius walks over to Nico and says if he needs help fighting Lutheria, he is at his service. Later that night, Corbin knocks on Arcadia's door when she's alone and reminds her that he told her there might be a way to help get Hatria back. He is bound by his promise not to reveal what he knows, but he thinks there's a way he can get the power of the gods. It is hard to say when. He's not completely certain yet how to accomplish it, but he thinks it can be done. So if they can revive Hatria, perhaps the Amazons will not be angry at them and will be on their side. And he notices when he's alone with her in her room that she looks really sad, but the kind of mask that she puts on with everybody else, just for him, she drops it a little bit. And he says he knows she's feeling quite bad, but from someone who's lived for 500 years, things will get better. And she asks him, how long does it take? She doesn't have 500 years like him. He says, oh, you never know. You might be reincarnated, maybe into a gnome, maybe even into a gnome, which gets her to smile a little bit. And he says, if you're lucky. And she smiles. He says to look for opportunities, especially to learn what he knows, because being the only one that knows and not being able to tell anybody is a real pain in the butt. The next day, over the next few days at sea, Corbin works on training his dragon and reads the scrolls with the history of the First War. Meanwhile, Demetrius is a bad influence on Vengeance, whilst Corbin is not looking, he overfeeds her and gives her little gems and stuff. Like she has to follow specific rules, like no begging at the table, and when Corbin isn't looking, he quickly tosses her a chicken bone. And he gets the sense she wants more. Corbin wags his finger at Vengeance. Bad little dragons might destroy centaur villages someday. You be good. And Demetrius says, don't worry, I don't believe that Vengeance would ever do anything bad. And Corbin says, just don't take the gold back and you won't have to find out. So over the next couple of days, Demetrius generates 2 vials of poison with his alchemy jug. And again, Arcadia is making herself scarce, which is very unusual. Stays below deck and is not getting up early to do her military exercises as she has done every other day since the party's known her. Corbin is down there beating on her door, yelling, parkour! And she's not at meals. But our last day when we arrive, on a Monday morning, she's up on deck early again. She hangs the goat target back up, and for the first time, instead of firing bolts at it, she grabs the disc that she carries on her belt and throws it to hit the target. And when it hits it, it comes back to her hand, although every once in a while it misses and falls to the ground and she has to retrieve it. Demetrius says, that's pretty awe-inspiring. Can I have a go? She hands it to him, and he throws it like a spear over his shoulder and hurls it, manages to hit the target where it stays embedded and doesn't return. And he grins at himself like he just achieved some great feat mastering this weapon. Not bad, eh? No, not bad. And for the first time in a week, Arcadia joins everybody for breakfast. She looks like she's lost weight and kind of looks a little haggard. Corbin says, it's nice to see you up and about, Arcadia. You've been dragging around a lot lately. And she just nods and says, 499 years to go, I guess. Demetrius turns to Gravik. All right. He wants, since we are going to be adventuring together, it's time you and I buried the hatchet. So I understand you want to keep some secrets, not tell us. So how about this? We make an oath, you and I, in a way that allows us to trust you. What do you think about that? Gravik turns his head to face Demetrius, and we see a nice shiner is already starting to take form on one of his eyes. He doesn't say anything as he goes back to eating his meal. He will not take the oath, but at least Demetrius agrees to try to at least control his temper a little bit. Gravik says, yes, I'm sure that's going to be quite the Herculean task for you. To which Corbin responds, what does that jerk have to do with anything? We come upon an island that is edged by sandy beaches and calm waters. The land is largely flat, and grasslands stretch out across the island, interrupted only by shrubs and small trees. The solitary structure visible from our ship is an ominous black stone tower at the island's center. We don't know anything about witches, nor does Folon, because he has never seen her. And Demetrius asks Rabbit if we reminded that Gravik needs to find the Lotus Witch to get information so he can find the White Book of Thylea, which explains how the two worlds, Gravik's world and our world, connect. And Gravik doesn't really know too much about witches, but since this is part of his destiny and fate, Demetrius suggests that Gravik decides how we approach the witch. And Demetrius says he'll just, as long as Gravik breaks the curse on the centaur, he'll just follow him and follow what Gravik decides to do. So Gravik decides it's a good idea to head to the tower. We look for the best place to make landfall, which just happens to be where we see 3 people training on the shore. And Gravik asks if we should get the lay of the land from them, and Demetrius just looks at him, forcing him to decide, so he decides we should talk to the people. We see 3 athletic humans wearing scarlet red cloaks and bronze bracers, and mostly we recognize them as Arisian warrior monks. And Demetrius gives Gravik the heads up that we killed some of those during the games, but Gravik feels if it was during the games, there shouldn't be any problems because that is an understood risk of the games. When Gravik approaches the monks, they are not very friendly, though they do say that it is dumb for us to go to the tower. Corbin asks if they can tell us anything about the witch. They don't know much more than we do, but they say if we're heading that way, they ask that we please do not bother their trainees, which are about a half mile in that direction. Arcadia asks, are you the instructors? And they said yes. And she asks if they're able to rid the island of the witch, and for a fee, may she have a lesson with them. And they say if you're able to survive and maybe bring some kind of proof back, they could work that out. Corbin says he's heard they're pretty good at fighting with just their hands and asks about magical tattoos that help with that. And they have access to them, but the only way to get them is to become an Oresian monk. And he says, well, you know, I'm not the monkish type, but I'm pretty good with my hands. He punches a wooden post really hard. And they say, you hit well. But even if it were in their power to say yes, to bestow upon him one of their secrets, he has to go to Orysia to get it, which is a couple days' journey on boat. We find out that they are not natives of the island. They just come there to train. The centaurs have little bands or groups that if they want to interact with us, they will find us. And what brings them to this island, it's one of their holy places of initiation. If they want to be considered true warriors, they must all make a pilgrimage to the island and test themselves against the scorpions, which we might run into on our way to the tower. But then Nico says, we may not want to kill any scorpions for fear that if we break the curse, there'll be centaurs again. And Corbin groans, not again. Arcadia says, that's a good thought. She has no desire to relive what we did in the Great Games. And Nico says, if we could avoid them at all costs, even to save a few of them, it would be worth it. He is sure Demetrius would appreciate it. And Gravik says, well, considering the monks come here to kill the scorpions and the centaurs don't seem to care that much about it, I don't think we have to worry about killing a few of them if they attack us. And Arcadia says, non-lethal. And so Corbin takes some arrows and blunts them. And Nico says, I'm sorry, I lost my temper there in that situation. And Arcadia looks at him and says, I blame Lutheria, not you. And as we leave, the monks say the third time, if you encounter the younger ones, do not engage. We come across a clearing that is dominated by 3 giant scorpions, each the size of a horse. Surrounding the scorpions are 6 young Oresian warriors brandishing spears and clad in brilliant red cloaks. The warriors seem badly outmatched. One of them is mortally wounded. Demetrius stands back and watches. Gravik says, they said this was a test to prove they're warriors. I don't know if they would want us to interfere. Monks! And Arcadia says, what part of the 3 times that those monks said not to interfere did you not understand? But Gravik wants to. He says, I know, but one's obviously going to die. And Arcadia says, leave them alone. And Demetrius says, welcome to Thylea, and explains that you do not want to dishonor them by offering them help. Meanwhile, Corbin and Nico start chanting for the monks. Go, monk, monk, monk. And as we continue to watch them fight, and Arcadia, as usual, is trying to find any weaknesses or tips that she can pick up in the battle, we hear some thundering hooves, and we see 7 centaurs come rushing in. The leader is a female, and she looks at us, especially at Demetrius, and she glares. And then she focuses on the scorpions. We end the session the morning of Monday, our 64th day together, with only 33 days remaining of the Oath of Peace.
Fuck yeah!
Fucking Gorgio.
I love myself. Look how pretty she is. Yeah, so let's jump into it then. Where are we at? We're at top of round 3, and it's Corbin. As these centaurs look like they're fixing to join this battle.
Oh, was one of the monks dead?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it died like round 1.
Oh. Okay.
Rip.
I don't have the picture, by the way. I only have the white grid.
Yes, same here.
See,
Oh, it worked for me when I rebooted.
See if you scroll up where you say if you can't see the map, reload the game. Because you just have to reload the game.
All right. Well, in the meantime, I will just I will yell out to the centaurs in a friendly manner, and I will stay where I am.
Okay. Arcadia.
Arcadia is, gosh, she's like, what, 60? More than that. These, it looks like, what, about 100 feet away?
Go!
80 feet away? Oh, I guess I can do the little arrow, right?
You target one of them and see how far you are.
Did Arcadia just make a point out of not interfering?
Oh, yeah, yep, she's 120 feet. I'm just, yeah, so what I'm saying is she's pretty far away, so she might not really do anything. Yes, she did make a point of not doing anything, so she is just going to stand there.
Oh,
and
I was
wait for those-
confused. I thought you were going to shoot an arrow.
No, I just wanted to see how far away she is. She's 120 feet. Nope, she's not shooting an arrow at all. She is standing there and watching, and she sees the centaurs, and she is not being involved. She's going to pass her turn, and Nyx is just going to hang out above her.
And Nessa, she'll call it out in y'all's general direction as she'll take her longbow and shoot one of these scorpions. Next time. And centaur. I'll come right there. It will kind of lower its head down and charge. Vengeance.
Vengeance will fly over near me.
Is she gonna do nothing?
Nope.
Alright.
We're still not sure whether we should be interfering.
Fair enough. This monkey. Grab it.
Let's see. Seeing this, that the centaurs are actually fighting the scorpions as well, he will dash here, and that'll be the end of his turn.
Okay.
But as he's dashing up there, he's going to be reaching into his component pouch to pull out something.
Pull out something, okay.
And Arcadia looks exasperated and would yell at him, "No interference!"
This monk. No interference. No interference. once. We just need to start killing
What's
this
with
one.
the many goat noises?
I won't stop.
Like, are there
It's like
goats
there's a
around
herd
here or
of sheep
something?
passing by.
Man.
I blame.
Arcadia looks
I blame
very
Sirens here.
unhappy.
I blame Sirens here.
Oh my god, Arcadia is unhappy.
Let me finish these and I'll change them. But I thought Arcadia liked goats.
Well, they're tasty.
Rude. Jeez. Alright. Centaur. Dun, dun, dun. And the centaur looks like it's fixing to charge, but that there's a boy in the way. So we'll just shoot this little bit. Yeah, hit it. Ah, kill my scorpion. Sad. Ralph, can you not? Ralph. Can you not?
So, all of this happening in 6 seconds, just a large contingent of centaurs running up, starting to shoot and kill all these things. Demetrius walks over to her. And he will say this.
And she will respond. Demetrius. Oh, okay.
That's about all I can say.
Okay. Yeah, that's what she will say in return. And then this one, as it's walking by, it says, "I agree with the short one."
They calling Demetrius short.
Yes.
I was gonna ask why they seem to be so much bigger than him.
Game balance reasons. They couldn't make a player race large.
Portman's large.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, in the book it says it's a full Thillian Centaur race, but I mean, it would kind of fuck up carrying capacity or going into small places, I guess.
Be kind of cool if we had to park you outside.
True. I think it would be interesting for the place to be large.
Did graphics just shrink you down?
Nico.
Come back over here with Corbin, and just gonna pump his fists in the air and cheer on the fight. Yay! This is awesome.
Yeah. Nico, have you noticed these other centaurs seem much bigger than Demetrius? Why is that?
He's a runt. Did I say that out loud? Whoops. Must be a runt.
What's he doing with that very large female?
Going for some snoo.
Yay, the scorpion. That one. Sad. Come on, man. Corp.
Corbin's got his boots active, so he's gonna run like the wind over to Demetrius, just splitting right between the two centaurs. They don't even know what happened when I flew by him. And I'm gonna ask Demetrius, so what's the deal, man? Are we supposed to help or not?
Demetrius will casually shrug a shoulder, and he will say, my kind here was, they felt like they needed to help out of the goodness of their heart. They couldn't stand to see these warriors lose their test. You can help if you want. I'll stay here.
But they said they're not supposed to.
I don't think they give a fuck.
Alright. Well, looks like they've got it under control. They've already killed one of them, so... By the way, why aren't you bigger?
What do you mean? And Demetrius is the size of a full centaur. He says, what do you mean?
I look up and down at the giant centaurs.
I mean, it's just gameplay. I made him as large as a real centaur from the start, so...
Oh, okay.
Arcadia.
You look over at Arcadia, and she doesn't look like she's battle ready at all. I mean, she's standing there. It's obvious that she is not loading her crossbow or even looking. She is just watching, but she's watching intently. But she would yell out again, "No interference!" in Gravik's direction. And then, she'll say, "Don't jeopardize our relationship with the monks." And then she will I'll pass her turn.
And she will say that to Demetrius. And as she calls that out, she walks by, and she smells like roses.
And of course, centaurs have their own fertilizer.
feet. Damn it. And as the centaur's backing up, Gravik, it starts making a beeping noise. As his tail kind of swishes in your face. Vengeance.
He's just flying near me.
Alright. Kill a scorpion. Nice. And moving up to this one. Gravik.
Gravik's going to try and squeeze. Can he squeeze through here?
Yeah.
Okay, he'll squeeze through there and move to right there. But as he's doing this, he pulls out a tuft of fur and a crystal rod from his component pouch. But then he locks eyes with Arcadia as he hears her shouting at him, and then he's just gonna still locking eyes with her, gesture with his hands towards the centaurs all around him, just kind of a confused look on his face, just really, but he's not gonna do anything this round, as he's kind of still prepping his spell.
And if he happens to catch Amitrius's eyes, Amitrius will meet his eyes and look away like, do what you want.
Killing that monk. And then it's going to move right yonder. It kind of throws his body over here. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Killing that monk. Smacking his body over here with the tail. And then this one screams out and charges. And then, as this centaur walks by, it looks at Amitrius and shakes its head and says, "Taking orders from a human woman." In Sylvan, of course.
What did he say?
Taking. Oh, she wouldn't hear it, but he says, "Taking orders."
Okay, never mind.
Okay. It's just a little too far to hear him whispering.
Although I probably want it for the recap. I might. So, what did she say? But Arcadia doesn't hear it.
Taking orders from a human woman. Demetrius.
Demetrius will keep watching. He will move to be able to better watch. Because it's like, normally you have to go to the Colosseum and pay for this kind of stuff.
And here, Nissa will raise up her hand, and the centaur, these centaurs will lay down, or like pull down their bows, like they were in attack position, but now they are not. Nico.
Move a little bit over this way so he could see what's going on. Everybody keeps getting in the way. Just watching the show, enjoying it.
I'm seeing everybody else move back. Corbin will make a little meep sound.
Meep.
And run back over. And then the bonus action, I'm just going to speed run around this female centaur and back.
And as you run by her, as you run by her, you get a whip of peanut butter.
Ugh.
Arcadia.
Just being a little imp.
It's faster than a flash. You see her arm her crossbow and aim it straight at Gravik.
Oh, we're killing Gravik now. About time.
Holy shit.
And she says, last warning, no interference. And I'm going to hold my action, and if he starts to cast a spell, I'm going to shoot at him.
Jesus.
Interesting. Okay.
And Graphic thought Demetrius was bad.
Gravik casts campfire and is killed.
Right in the neck.
And Nissa sees this, and she will take a step back.
And Arcadia would also remember what happened at the games and saying these creatures could be centaurs.
If that's true, they were just killed by centaurs.
I know, but Richard just says, remember what Nico said.
And Demetrius will reply to her, and if they are centaurs, then we should put them out of their misery, because if I ever turn into a scorpion, you should kill me.
Corbin will immediately look at his tail to make sure it's still a horse tail.
Gravik.
Gravik, seeing her load her crossbow, is going to immediately run up here, try and hide behind the centaur, and kind of peek out, like, kind of just absolutely shocked that she would go to this extent to try and keep him from interfering. But he'll still hold the crystal rod and tuft of fur in his hands, kind of just not sure what to do right now.
Jesus fucking Christ.
What is it doing? Why is it doing like that? That's weird. Yeah, that's weird. Okay. Let's figure this out. Centaur. Armitris.
Demetrius will keep watching.
Nico.
And Nicodemus will do the same. Keep watching.
Corbin.
Corbin kind of catches what's going on out of the corner of his eye with Arcadia and Gravik, and he will zoom run over to Gravik and try and grapple him.
Oh my god.
He got you.
Ooh, terrible.
Gravik,
Slippery.
seeing this, just kind of like sidesteps out of the way, and I guess Corbin would just go flying by as he tries to tackle him.
Why is Corbin doing this?
I was trying to save him. I'm like, look out, Gravik, you're gonna get shot. Did I fly by him? And I guess I got 2 attacks, so I'll try to grapple him again. A slippery little bastard, I tell you.
Stop it! Go! What are you doing?
Arcadia is going to move to get a better shot.
Corbin's in the way.
I'm going to try to angle herself better.
Is she trying to angle herself better to get a shot at our party member Gravik?
That is right. But she's going
Apparently.
to hold her. She is holding her action. If he goes to use his magic, she's going to shoot him. And I pass my turn.
And she just bellows it out.
Translation.
Oops. Go. Damage. 6. Graphic.
Okay, so seeing those 2 monks die in the span of 6 seconds, and then dodging being tackled by Corbin, Gravik will flip here.
When he tries to move, can I get an attack of opportunity?
I mean,
It's got to be an attack, though, right? I can't grab it. I won't punch him, so never mind.
is he a hostile creature?
So never mind. I'm not gonna punch him anyways. I can't grapple him as an op attack anyway.
And at this point, he'll like eye Acadia, seeing if she's still got her crossbow aimed at him.
Oh, she totally does. Has a bead on you. It was on you from your movement.
How are the monks looking? The ones that are left.
One is beat to shit, and the other 2 look okay. And actually, speaking of that, Gravik, give me a con save, please, in the tower.
con save?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything did I notice anything happen from that, or? Okay, so Gravik will... Oh no. Well, he will kind of pause for a second, almost looking like he's in a daze, and he's kind of stops casting the spell that he was going to do.
All right. Knocking that one out. But he's not doing anything. And like kind of tossing that one to the side. He hasn't. He's just being sus.
Just snipped in two.
You've been playing over 40 years. And then grappling. And attacking. Oh, almost a 20. Oops. And then do this. And do that. And this.
Straight up rotting away from the poison.
No, because it should have only taken half. So let me give it 14 HP back. 31. 36. Yeah, it should have only taken half. So, unconscious, prone. Okay. But still.
Why did it say in the centaur it has is stinging?
Huh?
Oh, because he
Oh.
probably dragged it onto the token.
No, because I have here. Because I have this as a chat person.
Oh.
But kills that scorpion. And as it kills the scorpion, he just falls to the ground.
Are we still in combat?
Well, I don't know. Is Arcadia still wanting to shoot Graphic?
No, she. Once the scorpions are down, she lowers her crossbow.
Demetrius, he will walk over to these two monks that are still alive. And he will lean down and he will call upon the healing powers that were granted to him, and he will cast a Cure Wounds on both of them. Actually, I will use Lay on Hands.
Okay.
Oh,
Leon Hooves.
Van Hooves, yeah.
these are the two only survivors, or is that one alive as well?
These are the only two.
Well, at least bring them out of any critical danger they might be in with, like open wounds and stuff. I'll close them up, but I won't like bring them back to full HP or something.
Okay.
And I will say to them, well fought.
Thank you.
Ravik will look at all the dead monks around him and kind of lean against his quarterstaff and look over at Katie and kind of shout, "At least their pride's intact!"
And she'll say, "You have a lot to learn."
I'm the one who has a lot to learn. Okay, yeah, sure, whatever.
If you have such little disregard for following people's requests, then I do not want to have anything to do with you because you are putting all of us in danger.
I'll say, relax, Arcadia. He didn't do anything.
Yeah, and it's a good thing he didn't.
Wouldn't have hit me anyways.
Oh my god.
The Oracle
He is-
has never
he's
been
definitely-
wrong. If he has some purpose here, then we will bring him along.
Challenge accepted.
And then he will walk over to Nessa and he will say, now that the fight is over, we have a... And he will be speaking in Sylvan. We have a little more time to chat. What are you doing here? What tribe are you from?
We have no tribe. It was just our little band.
And how have you come to this island?
I was born here, of course. How
Are you...
came to this island?
I traveled here to end the curse that plagues our people.
Our people? Are you also under the curse?
No, but I consider all centaurs my people.
Ah, so you are the hero of the centaurs.
Well, I don't know if I'm a hero of the centaurs at the moment, but I do hope to do right by my people one day.
Yes.
I am a follower of the divine stallion, our ancient ancestor.
Are you now?
You know of him?
I do.
He has sent me on a quest and given me certain abilities.
And she's gonna keep talking, but she's just gonna kind of walk around you, and she will say, "What kind of abilities?"
Amitrius, he will look at her and he will say, magical abilities.
And this centaur will come up, and he's I don't know how to describe it, but he comes up like he has his chest inflated, like pushed out, like, and he says, "This little runt with abilities, Nessa, you could do better."
I'll say I'm not looking for a mate right now. I have too much business going on.
You talking to the guy with his chest pushed in?
Yes. So I'll say you have nothing to worry about. Though I don't appreciate your tone, my friend.
Nah.
Are you and I going to have a problem?
You break her heart, I'll break your neck.
I won't lay a finger on her.
And she looks a little sad when you say this.
Perhaps one day, and I'll say Nessa, but today I must be on with an important mission.
I see. Would you care to feast before?
I will glance at the party and I will switch to common and I'll say, do you all wish to have a feast before we go to the tower, or do you wish to go right away?
Did she tell us anything about the witch?
I will ask her. I'll say, do you know anything about the witch back in Sylvan?
Unfortunately, no.
Has none of you gone to this tower?
Whoever our legends tell, whomever goes to the tower, they are never seen again.
And are all of you afflicted by the curse of the scorpion?
And she puts her head down and says yes.
Then have you all found your riders yet?
Those two just have.
Oh, and I will look over at the centaurs and the monks. And I'll...
You see them kind of doing like a little ritual between themselves.
I'll say the monks are allied with you. Like are they aware of the curse?
They are aware, and we have an agreement that once our eldest are almost to change, if the monks here prove themselves, we will bond with them.
Well, hopefully soon you will all be free from this terrible affliction. Centaur should not be forced to serve anyone.
And she kind of puts her hand to your chest. You could help me.
Help you how?
You could be you could bond with me.
Centaur riding a centaur?
I will.
No.
I'll say, would that work? I mean, we are both centaur.
I don't see why not.
Well, and Demetrius, he gives Nessa another look over, clears his throat, and he'll say, "It is something to consider for sure. When we will go to the tower and face this witch, and when we come back, I'll see if you require any further aid."
Very well. We wish you the best in seeking out the witch.
Thank you.
Do you have any family?
Not anymore.
Do any of you have any family?
And I
Nico
will.
raises his hand. I do!
Corbin raises and I think I do.
Yeah, you have a grandson that you fucking threw into the fire.
He's an unruly little bastard though.
He has a child grandson.
And she will ask, what are their names so that we may inform them of what happened to you?
I'm sure he will laugh and he will say, "Thank you for your kindness, but have faith, Nessa, in the will of the great stallion. He will not put us on this path for no reason."
My grandson's name is Gaius the Hothead.
And one of the other centaurs will kind of laugh. These people going to see the witch and break the curse. I'll chop off my hoof and eat it before this happens.
I will hold you to that, my friend.
And he just looks at you embarrassingly.
Know you of the 5 gods? I'll ask the centaur.
We know of the one true god,
Which is?
the divine stallion.
Demetrius, he will smile in a satisfied way and he says, very good, yes. Then trust that he has put me on this mission because it's possible. We will go to the witch and we will defeat her and free you all of this curse.
Good luck.
And Demetrius says to the rest of the party, any of you have any business here?
Nope, time to kill a witch.
Arcadia is standing 40 feet away, so she doesn't have any business.
And this centaur, Arcadia, the centaur, is walking towards you. Well, I guess he could be right here when you notice that he's actually walking towards you. And he will kind of he'll stop there and like kind of stomp on the ground and like paw at it. Not in a threatening way.
Okay.
And he will ask in common, "Are you their leader?"
And she says, "We do not have a leader."
You have no leader.
We are all equals.
Then, if you are all equals, why would you threaten to shoot one of your equal party members?
Because I have the best interest of the party in mind, and we had made an agreement not to interfere.
But he did
I
not.
am a person of my word.
But he did not appear to be interfering when the short one. He points over at Demetrius. When the short one came over, you did not threaten to shoot him.
He was not interfering with the battle. We were told not to interfere with the monks. It was an initiation.
This is well and true, and I'm sure the monks will thank you for it. But again, they were not doing anything. He was just standing there, very close. I agree, but he was just standing there.
Wait, is he talking about Demetrius or is he talking about Gravik?
Gravik.
And she says he was about to cast magic.
I see. Very well. I was just wondering. Good day to you, leader of whom I do not know your name. And he will walk away.
I'm gonna walk up to Arcadia and say, "I told you, we are an anarchist syndicus commune."
Oh my god.
She says, yes, the anarchy is in Gravik.
I'll walk over and I'll say, well, let's get moving, guys. And Arcadia.
And she says, I know we've, and myself have just assumed we would kill the switch, but remember that Gravik needs information, and what he said at the breakfast table is correct, that perhaps we should just not approach her hostilely.
If Graphic needs to talk to her, I will not interfere in that, but I will do what I must to end this curse afterwards.
Yes, I'm just thinking of our tactic, if we can talk our way out of it. Remember the tale of the scorpion and the centaur. Perhaps there is some wrong she feels has been done against her. If we can somehow fix that, maybe she would lift the curse. It is an option.
I will keep that in mind.
Well, this
And
is all
then-
going on. Gravik is just kind of doesn't seem to be paying attention. He's just kind of staring down at the ground, at the scene where the battle took place.
He's standing by a scorpion.
Demetrius will say, what, a little too much blood for you, Gravik?
What did you say, Demetrius?
I'm just wondering, you seem forlorn. Has this battle gotten your stomach rumbling?
Very cute, Demetrius. No, just contemplating what I could have done if I wasn't being threatened.
I will say,
Maybe some of them
why
must
would you do
survive.
anything? I'll say, in this land, honor and glory is worth more than your life.
Yes, I can see how backwards you all are.
Meanwhile, Corbin's poking at him with his finger, trying to figure out how he was able to dodge him twice.
What? Stop. He just kind of like Just kind of like try to shoot Corbin away with his quarterstaff. What? Stop it!
You're
I'll
very
say-
slippery.
I'll say, do you honestly have feelings for these humans? And I point at the corpses of the monks. I'll say, why do you care about them?
They didn't have to die. It was...
It was their choice. They wanted this.
Yes, well, sometimes people make bad choices.
And then you are their father to tell them how to live their life?
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I can't just not help people when I see that they're in trouble.
So all these years that these monks have trained and practiced and readied themselves for this day, all these years are as nothing compared to your better vision of how things should be?
Yes, exactly.
I disagree,
And
my
also,
friend.
if I had saved them, they could have trained longer and been more prepared next time. It's not
They
like there
would-
wouldn't be there isn't a surplus of scorpions on this island.
They would be fighting new scorpions by tomorrow.
Not necessarily. They'd have to recover from their wounds, and they would learn from the experience.
Learn from the experience. You would have disgraced them. They would have lived in shame. How could you live with
You
yourself
can
after
always
that?
you can always reclaim your honor and live down your shame. You can't do that when you're dead.
They probably would have killed themselves afterwards.
Yes, that's more of just speculation.
Well, Graphic, I will give you this friendly advice. You better learn to adapt to Tilia fast, and I will point at Arcadia. That's what will happen to you. And I'm not saying by our hand, but by the hand of others when you make choices that go against our culture and way of life. Like those monks, like if the centaurs weren't here and you decided to interfere, it may well be that these monks would have killed you.
Perhaps, but I'm confident enough I could have defended myself against some deranged monks if it came to that.
And then what? What would you have accomplished?
I guess I wouldn't have had to have killed them, just incapacitated them.
Now you have wasted all of your magic and your exhaustion and you have achieved nothing.
Not like I couldn't take a rest afterwards.
And Demetrius will shake his head and he say, you fundamentally do not understand what I am talking about. Or what Nicodemus is talking about. It's like, you are so different from us and the way we view the world. It is difficult when you do things like this.
Yes, well, the majority of the monks are dead now, and the scorpions are as well. No one interfered except for the centaurs, so there's no point in discussing this any further.
Well, I think it's a good point because you are going to be traveling with us and we will encounter more situations like this where your thoughts and your ideas are clearly different from our island because you are not from here. So you need to show a little bit of respect and listen to us when we give you advice because we are from here.
I see. How many times have you stood by and let people die? I'm curious.
Only when they wanted to, when they made their choice to do it. Like if a thug attacks a child, of course I will, or another person, I will interfere and stop them.
Yes.
But if someone has trained their whole life to go through a rite or fight in the arena or anything like that, and they do it, it's not my place to interfere anymore. It's their life choice.
Perhaps, but I just cannot fully agree with that. Bahamut kind of forbids me from being inactive in such situations.
So it is a religious thing for you.
Sort of, more of just a code of ethics.
And what is this about your dragon god that makes him care for these monks?
I'm not here to preach to you about Bahamut. Let's just move on.
Keep your secrets as always then.
I will keep my secrets. I do not pry into any of yours. I appreciate if you wouldn't pry into any of mine.
I'm just trying to understand you a little bit. And Demetrius will walk away. And towards the tower.
Arcadia will run up to Amitrius and say, do you think any of the scorpion poison would be... Did you want to try to gather any of that?
Demetrius will stop and he will say, I never actually thought about that. Good thinking as always, Arcadia. And I suggest that you and Nicodemus do the gathering because you have small and fine hands.
And you notice while you guys were talking that the centaurs and the 2 remaining monks are digging graves.
And she says to Amitrius, I guess they don't turn back into centaurs if we kill them, or if they are killed. Which was one of Nico's worries.
I hope the divine stallion has guided them to the eternal fields of the afterlife. Regardless of the fact that they were turned into scorpions. And I will say, Nico, do you want to help Arcadia gather some of this scorpion venom?
Sure, why not?
So...
Let's see, what was it? What would that be? In a medicine check?
Well,
Or...
when you start to approach, one of the centaurs asks what you are doing. Are you going to help dig?
I'm going to try and get some poison from the tail.
You will do no such thing.
Doc?
Okay.
You don't want them disturbed.
Then Demetrius will shrug a shoulder, I guess. That's it then.
Just fine. Everything gonna be.
Don't desecrate the dead, man.
That's just killed. That's
Alright. To the tower.
I need to say goodbye to your girlfriend.
And she blushes.
Corbin will play a little tune as we get back on our way. Something to do with the yellow brick road.
Nice. And that sounds pretty good.
And actually, well, I guess we decided that we just found out that the centaurs aren't going to turn back into centaurs, so she's not going to bother blinting her arrows.
Does Grabbit pull out his little flute?
What was that?
Does Grabbit pull out his flute?
No, he just kind of walks alongside them, kind of in thought, and looking back at the battlefield.
Okay. Well, with that, let's take our 10. It's already after 10 o'clock, Dan. So let's come back at 15 after. Alright, stream. We'll be back in 10 minutes. If you go away, please come back, because we get more to do. Lots more to do. And let me start that. And I will start this thing, and I will start pretzel, and we'll be back.
Back.
Fuck you.
Sick balls.
What's the over-under on who kills Graphic first? The witch or one of us?
Probably Arcadia.
Yeah, exactly.
I cast a spell. They're the Cheetos.
Who bought him that toy?
Say that was a fast 10 minutes.
It was.
Best friends with Arcadia, yeah. Yeah, with friends like her, we need enemies. So, on the road again. As you start to approach the center of the island, the sun shines down from a clear, cloudless sky. Before you, a huge black stone obelisk reaches more than 200 feet into the heavens. Entry into the strange tower seems impossible, as there are no doors or windows to be seen. Stretching between you and the tower is a field of vibrant yellow wildflowers.
Which, and meanwhile, Corbin is playing Follow the Yellow Brick Road.
Uh-huh.
Going into a field of flowers.
What could go
That's
wrong?
funny.
Yeah, premonition. Who now? Maybe the oracle's rubbing off on him.
In more ways than one.
Exactly.
I wasn't gonna say it, but I was thinking it.
Fuck yeah.
Thanks for giving me that 10 minutes of recap work. Thanks, Giorgio.
Uh-huh.
Gorgio, do you know where that sound clip is from?
What sound clip?
Fuck yeah, one.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
It's actually from a friend of mine who did it.
Oh, they said that.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure that's from a porn.
Probably.
Like, I see it a lot in memes.
Probably.
Yeah, fashion.
So, as we come up to this area, can I do a perception check of the surrounding area, and particularly the flowers?
Sure. What exactly are you trying to perceive?
Just anything that seems out of the ordinary. And at some point, if I'm close enough, would I pick one of these wildflowers to inspect it? Because we are on an island where centaurs turn into scorpions. Nothing is probably what it seems.
I will walk over to Corbin and I'll say, look at him, the guy from another world's never seen a wildflower, and I'll laugh.
So you want to go and basically just go up to the edge of the flowers to pick one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Corbin will say to Demetrius, look, a pansy with some pansies.
What the fuck? Brutal.
Oh no.
Gravik will just ignore them. What would you want for an investigation roll, or maybe nature?
Sure. Give me nature.
Okay.
I'll say, what are you doing, Graphic?
He just ignores him.
It looks just like a standard flower, a standard yellow wildflower.
He'll just let the wind carry it off from his hand, and they'll just start walking towards the tower through the wildflowers.
Okay.
Demetrius, he will look at Graphic confused and shrug his shoulders. Like, who understands this weird foreign man and his strange flower-related rituals?
Does anyone else follow him?
Is
I'm
there a
sure
path or is there flowers?
It's just flowers, no path.
Are we gonna come up with a marching order then? I'm just looking at the party
I'll
sheet.
stay near Arcadia and behind Demetrius so
Yeah,
we can
yeah.
trample the flowers down. But
Exactly.
I'll hang
Arcadia's
back
gonna-
just a little bit, let Gravik go off in front since he's leading the way.
Okay.
Yeah, Arcadia's gonna, as usual, take up the rear and see what happens to the people in front of her.
And what about Nyx and Vengeance?
Vengeance will
actually,
fly
that's
up,
a good idea.
up high and scout, but stay over us pretty much. Just look ahead.
Okay. And what about Nyx?
Yeah, same for Nyx. Yeah, Nyx is gonna fly high up in the air.
Okay. So once you guys all enter the wildflowers with the flying creatures flying, you all of a sudden you get sudden crosswinds and storm clouds will appear in the sky where there were none before. And you look. It seems like lightning is about to strike.
Ah, that's the witch, all right. Finally, things were being way too peaceful and beautiful.
Do we continue?
Hell yeah.
I'll call.
Yeah.
I would call Vengeance down to me.
Okay.
I
Is
don't like
she?
my dragon to get wet.
Does she go back into her bag?
Yeah, with her head poking out.
Okay. And what about Nyx?
Nyx is going to. Boy, she's gonna. It looks like lightning's about to strike.
Yes.
Yeah, then, knowing that she's. Although she's metal, but then if she doesn't have anything to ground on, I wonder if the lightning would affect her. I don't know if Arcadia would
Might become
actually know
sentient
this.
like Short Circuit.
This is weird because I mean I don't know psychically. I mean physically, with physics, with lightning, how that works.
Well, what do you mean? It's a metal bird in the sky, right?
What
Yeah,
could
but
go
the
wrong?
thing is, yeah, I know, but the thing is, she's not grounded. But I don't think Arcadia knows about grounding, so that's what I mean. You know, there's no place for that. You know, like, don't planes get hit by lightning and they're okay? You know. So, oh shit, Arcadia doesn't know physics, so would she? Would she have? Do I like roll anything? Like, has she seen any effects of any stim phase on Themis during a thunderstorm?
Give me history.
Okay.
She is not. She doesn't. She barely even knows what a stimfa is. Apparently.
Even though she literally made one.
Yes.
Oh, great.
Using this blueprint plans like Lego.
All right. She's going to. She's going to call her to her and have her land on her shoulder because she knows that she can absorb elements and hopefully, if something happens to the both of them, she will protect her. So she calls me down to land on her shoulder.
Corbin would recommend that we space ourselves out so we don't all get hit by one lightning bolt.
Smart.
You say, what's the? None of you been in a thunderstorm before? What's possibly the chance that any of us will get hit by a lightning bolt?
As he says that, I will step very far away from him.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, wow.
So like 5-10 feet apart from each other?
Oh, no.
More like
than
20
that.
or 30.
Okay.
Yeah, Arcadia's gonna move at least 30. She's gonna move 35 feet away from everybody because that's her movement speed right now.
I do have a potion of lightning resistance.
Might be a good time.
Well,
No, I'll save it.
real quick. So so vengeance is in the bag. You call Nyx to land on your shoulder, correct?
Correct.
All right. As you do that, the thunder and the clouds go away, and it becomes nice and sunshiny again.
Interesting.
So wait, was Nyx closer to the tower than us?
She was flying.
Okay,
They were
so
both
it's,
higher.
Does Gravix know? I'll ask Gravix if he knows how to make something invisible.
I do, yes.
Did you make either Vengeance or Nyx invisible?
It's kind of a complicated spell that I can't really use that often. Is it really... Why would you want to make them invisible to begin with?
So they can scout ahead without getting the storm mad.
Do you really think the storm wouldn't be able to detect them, or the witch? Apparently she can control the weather.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean she can see invisible things.
Probably does. It's not exactly an ES.
We don't know until you try. How long does it last?
About a minute?
I'll say, hold on, guys. There is nothing to scout. There is no way into the tower, so let's try and find a way first, because if you want to scout, just look around. There is nothing here to look at. There is no place for Nyx to go. So, let's go. Entry into this strange tower seems impossible, as there are no doors or windows to be seen. So, there is no point to scouting.
I guess we lead on then.
I will enter the field and I will begin walking towards the tower.
Okay.
Gravik will do the same.
Okay.
Corbin's following at a safe distance.
Do we approach the obelisk?
So, with Nyx and Vengeance not flying, as you go through this field of flowers, the sun zips across the sky and sinks into the eastern horizon. The sky darkens until it is decorated with twinkling stars.
Is that unusually getting dark unusually fast? Or?
Oh, like super quick. Like it was like, noon. Now it's evening. After a few moments, though, the sun rises from the west and sets again in the east.
Hold on, I move out of the field again.
So you're gonna run back out?
Yes.
Okay.
And is that still happening? The time thing?
No, it stops.
And what about the guys that are in the field? Are they moving in slow motion?
No,
Are they moving very fast?
no,
They're just normal.
just normal.
I'll say to the guys, what do you guys see?
Do we hear him?
You do not.
Do I see him?
You do not.
Well, if I saw him disappear, I'd run back out too.
Okay.
So what is our experience when running out? Like, let's say I run out and I'm looking straight at Graphic. Do I see him vanish?
Yes.
Okay.
Guys,
I will-
oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'll step back into this
I will
field.
follow him.
I'll say this has to be some kind of illusion because the island is completely normal.
Demetrius, we're dealing with a witch. Did you not think there were going to be things to mess with us?
I'm just being careful.
Alright, so this day and night cycle repeats over and over and over and over until your surroundings become a blur.
Do we feel any kind of like effects of like time passing, or is it just like the outside is just like the night sky is just basically flickering right now from day to night?
Give me... Give me a wisdom check.
See, that was my question too. I don't want to come out of this ending up like camels.
What, old?
All doomed.
Yeah, like time is no, like time. Well, any of that, but like time is, going by so quickly that we're actually aging. We don't realize it. So what is this? A wisdom check?
Yes.
Oh, not
I mean,
a
Arcadia has 19, so we would see it in her first, right?
Well, okay. Wait, what is a wisdom? The wisdom check. That's not under your skills. Is that what? No.
It's
It's
under
just
abilities, not saves.
Yeah, right. Thank you. Gosh.
So it appears that no time is actually going by. At least that you can tell. Like it doesn't appear that you guys are getting older. Let's say that.
You think I have to pee?
It's a damn trick of this damn witch. Let's enter this tower and see what's going on.
Is there a way in the tower?
Well, all of a sudden, the night sky comes back into focus, and you find yourselves before a previously unseen doorway leading into the tower. The pathetic cries of small children and infants drifts from the entrance.
I'll
Perhaps we
look at
should not-
Arcadia and I'll say, I don't think talking is...
Perhaps we should knock first.
If this
Just kick the fucking door in.
if this woman is
There's
eating
children in
children,
there.
there is no more talking.
We just went through a field where day and night cycled within seconds. You don't think this might just be another way of messing with us? Another illusion?
Well, you're the wizard.
I
You figure
wouldn't
it
take
out.
I wouldn't take anything at face value at this current moment. This could just be a way to unnerve us or make us have us do something rash.
The only thing it's doing is pissing me off.
Well, they mustn't have tried very hard then.
Alright, let's go. Jesus.
Open the doors.
Who going first?
I'm still loading them up. There we go. Demetrius will go first. He will put his hand in front of Graphic and say, I said I would follow you, but a frail guy like you should probably stick to the back lines.
Can you
I
just
won't attack anyone until...
just
No, we don't have a choice.
first? Maybe we might not have to start a fight immediately.
Fine. And Demetrius knocks.
All you hear is children crying.
And he'll with that, he'll just kind of gesture with his quarterstaff, go ahead and open the door then.
Demetrius will try and push open the door.
The door opens.
You will step in.
Okay. So
Does anything happen?
So in here, you see this room is filled with over a dozen children. Some are infants, barely able to toddle, while others are a few years old. Most of them clutch yellow flowers in their hands. Some are human and elves, while others are minotaurs and centaurs. Piled in the corners of the room are a bunch of clothing and discarded food, and you see some buckets lined up for bathroom.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say these are the adventurers that tried to defeat the witch in the past. But that's just speculation.
Gravik will kind of step forward. Is any of you able to speak?
So a young boy comes up and says, "You should not have come. You are in great danger."
Yes, that's what we keep hearing, but that's fine. We know of the danger. Why are you all here then?
Well, we kind of came and because we heard of great tales and who tried to enter, and we failed her tests, and she reduced us all to a youthful state. And she comes down here every couple years to make sure we stay young.
Look.
You never thought to just leave?
How are you going to leave?
The door? He's points with his thumb over his shoulder.
What door?
Gravik will turn quickly to look to see if the door is still there.
It is not.
Ah, shit. I knew it.
What do Nico and I see?
You see a door and Demetrius, Gravik, and Corbin talking to a boy.
I
What do you
will walk towards it and extend my hand towards where the door was.
Feels like a wall.
And what does Arcadia see right now?
She sees Demetrius walking over to the door and standing there talking to Gravik.
I will knock on what was previously the door and I will yell, "Arcadia, are you out there?"
She does not hear.
But she does see me knock, or does she just see me talk?
She sees him knock.
Okay, so
And the,
at the very least she will know there is an invisible barrier there, right?
Not necessarily.
But she sees me knock on the inside of this wall, right? She sees me knock on what is for her an open door, so she sees me knock into the air.
It does not look open. She can. Oh yeah, I know what you're trying. Okay, I see what you're trying to say. She's trying. You're knocking on where the door's supposed to be.
Yeah, I'm knocking
so
on
it
the
looks
wall.
to her. Yeah, it looks to her like he's knocking on air because you said I can see inside.
Yes.
So she looks weird and she grabs her. Actually, she has a quarterstaff. And she takes the quarterstaff and hooks it in to the space next to Demetrius. What does it look like?
That the quarterstaff is going into this space.
And
What does
can I
Demetrius
grab
see?
the quarterstaff?
Yeah.
I will grab it and I'll say to Arcadia, "Pull."
Okay, and she's gonna pull. What happens?
Give me a strength.
Strength what? Athletics or?
Yeah, athletics is fine.
I'm not resisting her in any way. I'm just letting myself be pulled by this.
Oh yeah, that's fine. So when you pull and you think as hard as you can, your quarterstaff breaks. And the boy tells Gravik, "It's not going to work."
That's weird. So she sees Demetrius holding it. She pulls it as hard as she can, and it breaks in half.
Yes.
Goodbye, quarterstaff. All right.
Corbin just tells Demetrius, is like, maybe we should just all come in.
Oh well, it's everyone's own choice if they want to endanger themselves.
Arcadia will turn
Nick,
around and
Vengeance is with
tell
me, by the
Nico
way.
what just happened.
I could hear. I had to reload.
Yeah, I mean, but she'll tell him like in game because he's standing a little bit behind her.
Oh,
what
okay.
she's- or I guess he can see what's going on.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm
But
gonna inspect this statue in the middle.
Grevik will look to the boy that's was talking to him, like, and he'll just, how long have you been here for?
What year is it?
Good question. Demetrius, what year is it here?
Let's see. It's the year 499. 1 year, a few months before the year 500 and the Oath of Peace ends.
Good one.
Oh, and he'll say,
499 OP.
and he'll say, Oath of Peace.
Oh, that's not good, is it?
And 499 last time I remember. Oh man. Well, it's been over 500 years then.
You haven't killed yourself yet? That is impressive.
We aren't allowed to. We can't.
What do you mean you can't? I will give him a knife. I'll say, here you go.
She won't like that.
You guys have a weird obsession with needless death, don't you? Gravik will try and take the knife from the boy.
The boy did not take the knife.
Oh. You'll try to, like, probably grab the knife from Demetrius then.
If I get turned into a kid and I'm trapped here for 500 years, I'm instantly killing myself.
No, you won't.
What do you mean you won't? How can she possibly stop you? She's not even here.
Oh, she's here all right.
What do you mean? Where is she then?
And the boy points upstairs, like up the stairway.
Well,
And she's watching us right now?
Nah, not necessarily, but she's here.
So what happens when you do something she doesn't like?
Oh, she'll come and rectify.
well,
So-
we should probably go talk to her then if we can't leave here. The quicker we get done with this, the better.
Well, the Oracle has foreseen that you would talk to her, so I guess there's not really any choice.
Yes.
Make sure you ask for forgiveness.
What? You talking to me, child?
I am.
Forgiveness for whatever. Gravik will turn back towards where the door used to be. And you said Arcadia and them couldn't hear us, but they could see us.
Yes.
Okay. He will kind of tap his quarterstaff of like where the wall is, and just kind of like mouth to Arcadia. If you can see me, just know you are not getting back out if you come in. Just doing it really slowly to try and like allow her to read his lips.
Wah, wah,
Yeah,
wah,
basically.
wah, wah. She turns and looks at Nico and she goes, it doesn't look like they can come out again. Do we want to join them? I guess we should.
You're muted, Miko.
Sorry. Go ahead and say that again, please.
She says, well, it looks like once we go in, there's no way out.
Oh,
Or at least,
I think I
it's
could
not-
get out.
Alright, so...
I'll just turn into a giant ape and bust my way out.
I don't think that's possible, but... I guess it's now or never, so... She go?
Alright.
Do this.
Don't stop
Ourselves
halfway,
a
you'll
reach.
get cut in two.
And Nyx is with me, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Well, I
So
guess
she,
you made your
yeah, so she
decision.
takes in all these babies because she's not seen this before, and she asks what's going on.
I'll
And I guess
inform her
you
of
can
the
go ahead and
conversation we had and that they were
Okay.
turned adventurers.
Right. Okay.
At least I'm sure you're probably a cute baby, Arcadia. If we screw up here, you have that to look forward to.
Not looking forward to being a foal again. Let's go.
When you're ready to move, try going here, where my arrow is.
I will peer around the corner and I will check this place for any traps as I'm walking. So I'm using my perception.
That did not work.
Okay, so again, Arcadia is the last person, unless Nico is the last. He's waiting for Nico to come up.
Sorry, I'm having trouble with this map. It's not loading for me.
Fun, because you're going to another one. Which that sucks because I tried to do something, but apparently it doesn't work. Alright, but y'all are heading up. Give me a second. Apparently I didn't put a fucking grid on this one either, which I thought I did. Which is there, bam, bam, and bam. Okay. Another map. And you're going up the stairs from over here. Alright, so when you come up these stairs, you see it takes you about, I don't know, 150, about 50 feet to walk up the stairs. So it's nice, nice little exercise.
Anyone else not see the map?
Nope, that's it.
This hard floor is
It's all great
killing my
indeed.
hooves.
Oh, there it is.
This hard floor is killing my hooves. Remind me to get some new irons when I'm back in town.
You know, for a big, tough
Got it.
centaur, you whine quite a bit, Demetrius.
How am I whining about
You're
anything?
constantly-
I
You're
heard of a
constantly
god by the
whining,
night
complaining.
might be able to help you out.
So you come up here, and you see on this floor that there are 8 mirrors, and that's all, and then another set of stairs leading up.
There, 8 what?
Mirrors.
I think I remember reading something similar about this. Be careful when looking into the mirrors, guys. And as he says this, he's gonna be like looking into a mirror, inspecting himself.
So some of these mirrors do have sun coming out, some don't. Grab up the one you are standing in front of. It looks out into you like when you look in the mirror, you see before you a beautiful, expansive vista of like a different plane. It's like very, very gorgeous. Like it just, it's pretty much the nicest place you've ever seen before.
Does it look like it's from his homeland?
It does not.
Gravik will start walking around the room counterclockwise, inspecting each one of the mirrors.
All right. So when you go to that mirror, you see like a volcanic planet, and you see 2 people with some kind of like energy weapons fighting.
Oh
Wait,
no.
what?
Yeah.
Looks like that one's got the high ground.
Yeah.
Correct.
I don't know how those 2 just start bursting into flame. Gravik kind of says to himself as he watches them basically fight inside a volcano. I'm not going to interfere with that.
Corbin would pipe up and say in a not so subtle voice, "You notice he has no reflection when he looks in those mirrors."
Neither do you, though.
I'm
I'll
not looking
say,
at mirrors.
I'll be looking at the battle in the lava, and I'll say, "No, don't jump. He has the high ground."
That kind of looks like Gaius.
Yeah.
I don't know. The one in black seems to like have a lot of power. I think the other one's underestimating him.
Yeah, he definitely hates him. Look at his face.
So, Gravik, this one looks out into a vast, empty expanse of stars and nebula.
Definitely staying away from that one.
I'll say to Graphic, the kid was talking about a witch's test. Do you think is that what you're doing?
I'm just trying to figure this out right now. Quiet. The adults are, contemplating things.
I've beaten a lot bigger men for less, but I'll let it pass. Is that another stairs going up?
Yes.
I'll say, why don't we try going up?
You don't want to look in all the mirrors?
We should probably see what's happening with all these mirrors. But Gravik will look into this one and see what it has to show him.
So it looks like a dismal plain of kind of like hell. You see an army of thousands of insect men marching in perfect formation across burning wastelands. Yeah.
You will... No, he's not going to do anything with this mirror just yet. He'll go over to the next one.
Alright, so going up to this one, you see somebody looking back at you.
Does it look like his reflection?
What the fuck?
Gravik will kind of lean... Gravik will lean closer to it and just kind of like tap his quarterstaff against the mirror to see if like the other figure reacts.
He does.
As
As your quarterstaff goes through the mirror.
Oh. Gravik will quickly pull it back and he'll like turn his head towards the group like, I think this individual is having liver failure.
What the hell are you talking about?
Just come here and look at this very strange creature.
Ah! And I will speak to this kid. I'll say, "What the hell are you? What kind of monster are you?"
I'm no monster, I'm Ralph.
Yeah. And I will look at Graphic and say, "Do you think we should kill him?"
Hold that thought just real quick. I think we're probably putting this thing out of its misery, but let's try and have a conversation with it. Where are you from?
Springfield.
Never heard of that planet before. Do you know the witch here?
Which?
I'll say to Graphic, these are all just the witch's games. Come, we have to go up.
I'm in danger, and he will walk away.
I know how you feel. Let's see what's going on with this one.
Okay. Looking down into here, you see Thalia, actually, from about 10 miles above the island you're currently on.
Sweet. Can parachute in. Do you have slow fall?
And I'll say, try sticking your hand in there.
Why don't you stick your hand in there?
I will walk over.
Mm-hmm.
I'll look through my bag. Let's see.
And to answer your question, I do know the spell Featherfall, but I don't have it memorized just yet.
It could come in handy later.
I'm going to take one ration and I'm going to throw it into the mirror.
And it falls about 5 feet before coming to a stop.
Like mid-air?
Yes. Like it might have hit a glass window or something, or a glass ceiling.
Odd.
Our kitty knows all about that.
Well, wizard, what's the puzzle here? What's the answer?
It's all just seems like random nonsense. I think this witch might be crazy. He's gonna walk over to the next one.
Considering she's turning an entire species into fucking scorpions, I'd say that was pretty established already.
He's just under his breath. He's just gonna like probably have improvement for centaurs.
All right. So looking in this one, you see a bunch of people. Like, it looks kind of like Thylia actually, and they are wheeling into their big city a wooden horse.
Oh.
Looks like Armitrius.
We should have such statues in every city.
Does it when Gravik's like looking through this mirror? Is it like, or does anyone like see him like see like viewing them from his side of the mirror, or is it just seem like they're oblivious of him?
Seems like they are oblivious to him.
Okay, so he'll try and stick his quarterstaff through the mirror again,
It works.
and he'll pull it back, but then kind of like lean over to look at the last mirror.
Okay. Looking into the last mirror, it looks like a massive prison. Like under, like in like a sea, and a big ass prison, and it looks not nice.
I don't know what to make of any of this. They're portals leading somewheres, but I think this might be a portal leading us out of here. But I don't know why the children just wouldn't use it, if that's the case.
Because it's obviously a witch's trick. Let's go.
Yeah, I agree. I'll have to think on this a little bit. Next floor, I guess.
All right. Give me a second. Three.
Okay, so I have discovered a bug with the aura plugin. Seems every time you put me on a different map, it doesn't remove the old aura buffs, but applies a new one. So everyone now has huge saves.
We can fix
We're
that.
immune to her.
It's like a plus 36.
And I love Star Trek.
Is the map
Yeah.
loaded, at least?
Yes, it is.
Cool.
It's for me.
Alright, so coming up onto this floor, you see an alchemy and crafting labs with a couple different like magical not magic, but a couple different items and chests of gold. And in the center of this thing, like right there, is a massive pile of gold. And Corbin Vengeance is squirming.
Yeah, I will hold on to. I will hold on to vengeance very tightly.
Okay.
It's obviously a trap. Let us continue to the next floor. I don't think we should touch the gold. Though I'm sure we've all come to the same conclusion.
And then you got
Oh.
like different like over here some potions, over there some potions, different kind of shit.
Else, remember when Nico, the last campaign, when we did take the cursed gold? Let's not do that again.
You remember that occurred?
Ugh, what a mess, but then it might make Gravik very happy.
And Vengeance is squirming very badly.
Yes, I would say after we kill the bad witch, maybe then we can get the gold. You have to do your chores before you get your gold.
Is Gravik like investigating stuff or?
He's going to inspect the items on the table here. What are they? They're just all like random items, like weapons and.
Yeah, some weapons. Just looking at some weapons, like a couple flowers, a couple vials, stuff like that.
Okay. Gravik will.
Sure,
He's
you
not
don't
in-
want one of those coins, wizard?
I'm sure. I just want to talk to this witch. There's no need to steal from her.
It looks like more gold than you guys won at the Great Games. That's how much gold there is.
A lot of gold.
That's why she's squirming very badly.
Well, Amitrius, he prepares to head up the next stairs because he believes that this is some witch's trap.
Yeah, Arcadia will again follow from behind.
Same.
Okay. Second. Alright, give me a second. It's not that. I need this. Nope, not that. I need not that. I need this. And where's my son of a bitch? Oh, give me a second. Da, 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 da. Boom. Don't know why I didn't put that on there. This is pissing me off. I don't know why it doesn't want to work. Where are you at? No, fucking hell. How about libraries and assets? There you go. And tokens. And token, and bam. And bam, and bam. Okay, cool. Are you able to see the map?
Yep.
I can see it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Alright, so coming up these stairs, this twisting stair opens into a stone room at the top of the tower. Floor, walls, and ceiling are covered in etched hieroglyphics. Kind of looking, they look roughly made. And then you also see like it's kind of like a big old library almost in here. And a majestic winged lion with the face of a woman sits in the center of the room. And she looks like this. And
Wow.
and behind her there's a big window, shows the island upon below bathed in daylight, and she does not appear to be paying you any attention.
Wow, and she has all those eyeballs in her wings.
Yes.
Typically accurate angels.
I'm starting to think that we might have been a little bit too casual with this whole killing the witch thing. That doesn't look like no ordinary witch to me.
Arcadia is thinking this about like what she said originally, that
I will gently shove Gravik forwards, like gently urge him, like, go talk to her.
Gravik will not exactly be thrilled about being shoved forward, but kind of like steady himself by using his quarterstaff, and just kind of like cough.
Upon you doing that, she turns and demands, "Why have you disturbed my contemplations?"
No, we didn't mean to. It's just we were sent here on a quest from the Oracle. Just looking to get some information. I was told to speak with you. Lovely library that you have here. I'd love to take a look at your collection.
And she's still waiting.
I don't think the friendly act is going to work with her.
Did you tell Arcadia everything? Like, did she hear that, or was that comment about asking for forgiveness specifically for Gravik?
Or did you tell Arcadia about this?
Who are you talking to?
Just either Ametreus or Gravik, because, or you. I mean, I don't know who the boy talked to. Who heard the boy say, you need to make sure you ask for forgiveness? And the only two people who could have heard that would have been Ametreus and or Gravik.
Oh, yeah, but Ametreus told Arcadia everything, so you would know.
Oh, okay. So, okay. So she knows that.
Yes.
All right.
And Ametreus is
She
just
would-
remaining silent completely.
All right.
Gravik will just
She would-
we gotta wait for a response, but if he gets none, he'll just kind of start just small talking, like, I love your wings, they're very lovely, and your hair, it's how it smokes.
So Arcadia
like that.
would walk in front of the Lotus Witch, drop to one knee, put her fist on her chest, and bow her head and said, I ask for your forgiveness.
For what?
I was told that we should do that.
But why are you asking me for forgiveness? What have you done?
I do not know if I'm not from this land, and I do not know if there's anything that I might have unintentionally done that has offended you. Like disturb you in your contemplation.
Well, what are you here for then?
And she says,
You stop. You stop right there as Corbin gets here. As she yells at Corbin.
Arcadia says, our quest here is twofold. One is we were hoping to get information on the White Book of Thylia. And the second is we have heard about the curse you have placed upon the centaurs in this island and was wondering if there is any way you would be swayed to lift it.
Why is an Amazon interested in the White Book of Thylia?
And she says, I am actually not. It is this person. And she gestures towards Gravik.
Then why are you speaking for him? Is he unable to speak?
That's not technically true, but it's it is as she says, we are here looking for the book, and also we are kind of curious, why did you curse the centaurs of this island?
Oh, they acted like children, so treat them like children.
Well, surely the punishment has kind of played out, don't you believe? How long has it been since this punishment has gone on for?
Not long enough.
Well, surely you must give them chances to prove that they've learned their lesson.
I've tried, and I've tried, but do you see how barren this land is?
What task did you put
Barren?
forward?
Well, like flat. You see, once upon a time, it was nice and full of trees and knowledge. And then those barbaric centaurs decided to use it as firewood. So if they're going to be primitives, well, treat them as primitives and like children.
I
Is there a way
see.
we can restore the land?
Well, the land,
Wish somebody had plant growth. Anybody have plant growth?
the land itself is fine. It's the barbaric centaurs who keep destroying it.
And you see that Amitrus is like slowly losing his temper. Like you slowly see an anger bubbling up inside of him.
Well, I must say I don't disagree with your point of view, but have you told them to try and cultivate the land?
I'm not talking to them.
And then how would they know what they have to do to break the curse? As you said, they're barbaric. They don't barely have a thought in their head.
Exactly. So why would I downgrade myself to talking to children?
Well, perhaps we could then converse with them in your stead and convince them to cultivate the land.
Roll persuasion. And she'll look at you and kind of stroke her chin. I'll tell you what. It's, I believe it is very important to know history, or one will be doomed to repeat history's mistakes. Do you not agree?
Yes, I do agree with that, actually.
So you would agree that those who are oblivious to history are no better than infants, and they should be treated as such.
Well, yes, to a certain extent, but infants have to grow and you have to teach them in order for them to change.
Correct. I wonder whether you should be transformed into infants, like your former friends downstairs, my children.
If you did that, then we wouldn't be able to go back to the centaurs and tell them what you desire from them.
That's not my problem.
But you want to see the land cultivated and brought back to its original state, do you not?
I mean, it'd be nice, but I have all these other lands I can just go to if I really wanted.
Yes, but obviously you care about this land if you were willing to curse an entire species here for what they did.
Well, I had to show them that they are no better than little savages.
Yes, they are savages, but they can be taught, I'm sure. If we just treat them like the infants that they are, we can raise them up and show them a better way.
Well, how about this? I will ask you 4 questions about the history of Thalia. Get 3 right, you win.
Oh, god damn it. Okay. You just wouldn't want to play a game of Dragon Chess, would you?
A what?
Never mind.
Arcadia asks, is this the questions just for him or for all of us?
Well, if it's for him and he fails, It would just be for him to lose. If it's for all of you and he fails, all of you lose. How about that?
Meaning we all have the chance to answer the question.
Correct.
She looks at the party. She says he can't answer those questions by himself. He's not from here.
I'm a mere infantile, barbaric centaur. I have clearly nothing useful to say to this witch.
And she looks at you and says, I agree. And when you get there, she says, that's far enough.
Demetrius will stop.
So, human, are my terms agreeable?
I suppose I have no other options at this time, so yes, they are.
Perfect. Question 1. Who was the first of the Dragonlords?
Oh. The first you said. It's a good question. I don't know. As I said, I'm not from these lands.
Arcadia would, seeing that this is desperate, she would say, would that be Estor Archelander?
Wrong. Question 2. When Thylia bore fruit, which 2 titans sprang from a single pit?
Arcadia would say Sidon and Lutheria.
Correct. What happened to the city of the Sirens?
He's gonna look over at Arcadia. Just, I didn't even know there was a city of the Sirens.
Huh.
Uh,
I suppose the fates. It's no coincidence the fates wanted a siren, and now she asks us about a siren.
She
She wanted a
nymph.
nymph.
Oh yeah, sorry. And then
Did it sink beneath the waves?
Correct.
nice guess.
Wow! Wow!
Good job.
Corbin raises an eyebrow. Maybe a wizard is a good thing.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm surprised you got that one.
I'm going to look at Corbin and I'm going to say, shouldn't you know who Dragonlord is?
Now remember, brain scrambled.
Who was the cruelest of the Dragonlords?
Oh, that one's
Does
Esther Archelander.
Tillamook Archelander.
Incorrect.
Wait, whose answer did you take?
Who answered first?
It sounded the same to me, but I get a delay.
Because I heard Estor.
I said
I
Tillamook
heard two people
Archelander
say
at the same time.
Either one, correct.
So I guess we got half
Oh,
right,
wow.
half wrong. So, like, is there a bonus round, lightning round, perhaps?
Who created the centaurs?
Gravik's
It's,
just gonna look over at Demetrius.
And Demetrius thinks, and he says, was it the sibling of Sidon and Lutheria, the Divine Stallion?
Correct. Congratulations. Now, for your reward, I will answer any 5 questions you ask of me. That I can.
I suppose that's 1 question per person.
Should we huddle together and
Yes.
come up with the 5?
Good idea.
Sure.
And when we huddle together, Amitrius will say, should we ask about the god secret?
What do you mean? What's that?
The thing that Corbin knows, but he cannot share.
Oh, that's true.
Good.
One thing I would should we ask how can we leave here safely without how,
Yeah.
what
Maybe we
Like,
should
how
ask.
can we get
We
out?
should ask how to defeat
Hey,
her.
Corb.
I will
Corbin.
ask how to break the curse.
yes, ask how to
we already
break the curse of the
know.
centaurs.
She just wants to teach the centaurs. She just wants the centaurs to recultivate the land. We already know that.
When am I going to run again? I can play
That's
that.
not what I got from what you said.
I honestly
Yes,
don't know.
How can we
To be
convince
completely
her
honest
of
with
this
you.
to lift the curse or something?
'Cause
I don't know.
I'm
How can the curse be lifted?
really
We
busy
could just say,
with
how
work.
can the curse be lifted?
Like this, even
can we
like
lift
this
the
is
curse?
some. Even this is.
What can we do
sometimes
to
kinda-
lift the curse? Okay, I will ask that.
You will. What is your question specifically?
My question to her is, what can we, the party, do to lift the curse on the centaurs that turned them into scorpions if they don't find a rider?
Nothing.
Not even kill you? I'm not saying that I want to. I'm not saying that I want to. I'm just saying, would that...
She will laugh and say, "You can certainly try."
Would that lift the curse?
I might.
That's 3 questions, Demetrius. Shut up. Shut up, Demetrius.
Oh my god. Honor Among
and-
Thieves is coming back.
And she will say, "That's 3."
God damn it, Demetrius. You really are pretty fucking stupid, aren't you?
Wait, does that mean we've asked 3? Wait, she's no,
Yes.
she's not gonna ask that question.
She
She's
said.
not, wait,
Okay.
she's not asking, she stops herself.
Demetrius asked 3 questions there. Why can't you think, Demetrius? Why?
I haven't
Oh.
heard anything useful from you yet, Graphic.
You just wasted 3 questions on the same question.
Have we all seen Honor Among Thieves, or at least the trailer?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a funny movie. They kept digging up the bodies.
You lost your talking privileges, Demetrius. He's gonna look over at Arcadia, like, just like, you asked the last 2.
And she looks and she starts tapping her 6 arms together.
Should we ask how the party can leave here safely? Or should we ask, how can we gain the power of the gods? When she looks at Corbin.
Corbin's moved away from the group. He looks angry.
Arcadia would ask, how can we, as the party, leave your presence on this tower and this island safely?
Once I'm done answering any questions you have, I'll send you on your way.
And with 1 question remaining, I will say to Graphic, should you ask about the white book?
Yes, yes. Where can I find the white book?
That is found in the adamantine vault.
And I don't have any other questions to ask you where to find that. And he's just gonna like glance over at Demetrius.
Well, I mean, well, I guess you're right.
However, for, let's say, 1,000 gold that you will add to my pile downstairs, I will tell you a little bit about that book that I know.
Demetrius, or Gravik will turn to Demetrius like he expects him to give him gold.
Demetrius will look at Graphic and say nothing.
Fine, 1,000.
You will put it. So I answer, or I'll tell you what I know. You go down and put it on the pile. Yes.
Hold on,
Yeah.
hold on. Before you do that, before you agree, the adamantine forge, isn't that Falcon's forge? Guys?
Vault. She said vault.
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood then. Never mind my question.
But yes, I will go down and put 1,000 gold on your hoard.
Excellent. So in the book, it describes a link between the divine sparks and their reputation, and provides hints as to finding and restoring the lost gods of this land.
Sounds rather important.
I mean, it makes sense if you think about it, because during our travels, we encountered a lot of statues and even temples to gods that don't seem to exist anymore. So it makes a lot of sense that this would be like that there are many more gods.
Yes. For
Well,
500 more gold, would you be able to tell me where I could find this vault?
1,000 more gold.
we
Surely-
know that Estor did say where it was to you.
Did it? Is the Nether Sea? Was it?
I believe so. I don't know if you want more details than that. Let me just, he says the... Hold on a second.
We know
Buried
how
at the
to.
prison. He is buried at the prison, meant to contain a creature used by the quote-unquote gods as a weapon at the dawn of time. So the prison, and it says we will find it in the Nether Sea. He will reappear when we get closer to show us where it is, which is interesting because you saw that giant prison in one of the mirrors.
Right. But instead of thank you for reminding me that. I think I might have an idea where it already is, but for 1,000 gold, can you reveal the mystery of those mirrors downstairs?
No.
No. 2,000 gold?
No.
It was worth a shot, but I appreciate your answers and giving us the information necessary to save the centaurs here. Hopefully we can prove their worth to you so you will break the curse.
Hold on. What kind of information has she given you that lets you save the centaurs? Because I know you draw the conclusion that they should cultivate the land, but I never got that confirmed, or I haven't heard anything out of her mouth that gives me any confidence at all that that curse will ever be lifted.
Well, obviously the curse is just a personal grudge that she has against them. If they could find a way to...
And you made a promise to me. I said I would follow you, and if you... but the one thing that I had is that the curse would be broken. So we're not done here yet.
I told you that we would talk with the witch, not kill her. And we were given a proper answer to a solution to fix the problem. We don't need to kill her.
Has she said to you, if the centaurs cultivate the land, the curse will be broken? Has she said that to you?
Not in so
And
many
how
words.
do you know? You have no clue.
No, it's better. Like, well, how long has this curse been going on for, and what have the centaurs here done to try and break it besides just listening to old myths?
That curse has gone on long enough, and if you look downstairs, you'll see that there have been many attempts to break the curse, but they have all been turned into children and worse.
If you want to be in... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, and Arcadia would say, we can try and see if this works, and if it doesn't, we'll all probably be dead in 38 days anyway. So, I'd rather stay alive now.
And also, Demetrius, there's no guarantee that the curse will end with her life.
Well, I made a promise. So,
And when he says he made a promise, you see Arcadia nod her head.
You made a promise, not an oath. You don't have to fulfill anything right now.
you still don't understand, do you, Graphic, how this
Really?
land works? If I don't follow through on my word, then what possible good is my word? And what possible good am I as a person?
You know what? From what I've heard, the centaurs deserve it. They made this land barren for no reason other than their own selfish greed.
How do you know? Were you there when this happened? Did she go to them and say, hey, this is my land, please don't do this?
He's gonna look over at the witch. Did you warn them of their actions will have consequences?
And even so, let's say that she warned them and the centaurs were evil. That was ages ago. These newborn centaurs have done nothing wrong.
Well, obviously they haven't learned anything.
They've learned enough. And I will approach the witch and I'll say, witch, I'm done with your games and your rules. Break the curse now, or we are going to have trouble.
Demetrius,
And while
Don't
he's
you-
that, Arcadia is getting out of the way of this group of clump.
Demetrius, don't, in this land, don't oaths have to be withheld? And also, don't you have to go through a certain ritual to break them?
And this witch is going to tell me how.
I'm not going to attack her. She has done nothing to hurt us here, and she's only helped us.
Then be gone, wizard.
And I'm not leaving you to become a small child that's going to just be sitting down in the first floor shitting himself for eternity.
I was sent here for a reason, and I'm not sure how you can casually stand by and watch a bunch of children being tortured or an entire race of people being cursed for the crimes of their ancestors. I don't know how you can live with that, but it's not acceptable to me.
From what I've seen, they haven't changed anything, and they've just been beating their head against the wall, doing the same thing over and over again.
They are people that have no idea why they are cursed or how to break it or what the witch wants from them.
Well, we can go and tell them a way to break it and see what happens. What's another, 100 years to fix the land, considering how long they've had this curse?
No. So, witch, what is it?
She looks at you, and she says, "Are you sure you want to do this?"
I'm not
No,
going to
we're
let
not
you torture
sure.
people any longer.
And she looks at the rest of you. And are all of you going to aid him?
I
Demetrius,
stand behind my friend.
Demetrius, don't...
I stand beside my friend.
Demetrius, don't do this. There's nothing... You'll just end up like all the children downstairs.
And what concern is that of you, wizard? You clearly do not care for centaurs.
If we die here, we can't go tell the centaurs
You
what
can
we
go
learned.
downstairs if you like.
Demetrius,
Arcadia
don't-
looks at. Oh, Arcadia looks at Corbin. What does he look like?
Corbin looks like he's very angry and on the verge of attacking this thing.
Don't do this, guys. This isn't necessary. We can just leave.
This is the kind of people we are.
You can always come back and do this another time. We don't
And
have
abandon
to.
those kids?
Those, they're not children. They're just adventurers that tried to kill her, and she turned them into children.
They probably had the good reason of trying to break this terrible curse. Just stop, Graphic. You're
Arcadia.
not convincing me of anything.
Arcadia would say once again, I think we got what we needed from here for now. For now.
Arcadia's right. For now, we can come back later. Arcadia talks sense to them.
She says, Demetrius, I understand your wanting to take care of things now, but even if I were faced with going to Themis, I wouldn't engage because I know
What do you
it is
know?
better to live to fight another day.
And this witch will just go on undisturbed, torturing centaurs and others over and over and doing whatever she wants.
And Arcadia said our overarching goal is to defeat the Titans and save the world.
Well,
The needs
I'm not going
of
to
the
sell my
many
soul to do it.
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few in this case. Would you say you would rather fight here and possibly sacrifice the entire world and all of the... And
Have we
our-
not always
our-
faced difficult challenges? Did we think this when we faced down a dragon and defeated a dragon? We're always at risk. We're always close to death. But no, the Oracle must have foreseen this. It must be our destiny to face this witch and end this terrible curse.
And she says, with the dragon, we needed the orb of star metal.
What do you propose? And suddenly something Arcadia said seems to have made Amitrius think about something, and he will say,
And and the Lotus Witch will say, I propose you listen to your friend, Centaur.
and
Arcadia says,
he will say, very well, I will drop it for now. Suddenly. And I'll say, goodbye, witch, then. Until we meet again, because I'm sure that we will.
Don't forget my gold on the way out, Gravik.
Right. I nearly forgotten all this drama that was taking place. Thank you for reminding me. And I apologize for my uncouth friends. They clearly don't get out much. Not very civilized of them, is it?
It's not your fault. You can't control these barbarians.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Nico's gonna transform into a large bear and take a shit on the floor.
Okay.
oh no!
Way to prove her wrong. He's just gonna shake his head and start walking downstairs.
How fast does prestidigitation work? But as she walks out first, Arcadia will touch the Lotus Witch's eye and put her fist to her chest and bow her head
And
as she leaves.
she will give you a slight nod.
And I'll say, why do you have so much respect for this madwoman, Arcadia?
And as she walks out, she'll say, it is better to attract flies with... What is that word?
Flies with honey.
Easier
Flies.
to attract flies with honey
Well,
than
not flies. It's like bees. Whatever. Eventually, I just realized, well, flies like shit too. But anyway, she's just basically saying.
Corbin will bow also, but he'll bow the opposite direction, and he has his kilt hiked up enough.
I'll say, I'll say to Arcadia, something you said made me think. I can fight her right now and possibly be defeated, or you're right, we need some kind of weapon. I'll need to ask the Oracle on how to defeat the witch. But I am going to defeat her.
We could also, try and tell the centaurs of a way to break the curse without bloodshed. Worth a shot, what's the harm
So
of
there
that?
was no way to break the curse.
She would consider if they recultivated the land.
I never
No,
heard her say
I
that.
think we come back and kill the witch.
Agreed. Let's ask the Oracle how we can accomplish this.
Yeah, let's.
So as you walk back down these stairs, the vengeance starts wiggling again.
Gravik will, remembering what he was told, will walk over to the gold and pour out a bag of 1,000 gold pieces onto the pile.
Okay. And when you do that, the money starts shaking.
You just-
And then appears.
Jesus. That's pretty cool looking.
So
Oh,
gold
does that
mimic.
mean we have to fight it? That Arcadia, you see, she's like not happy with this.
And the stairway upstairs is no longer there.
You know what?
I hope you got what you wanted, Graphic.
Corbin
I
looks
mean,
at vengeance and
it's my
says,
mind.
see?
And she's still wiggling. But that's where we'll pick it up next week.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
We should have just
Wait, so
fucked
does
the
that
witch.
mean? So now we have to fight this thing, I'm guessing. I mean,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty
Well-
sure it's gonna.
Well, at least one of you is going to have to, so it's going to want to fight at least.
Arcadia kind of laughed.
There's your
Yeah, right when that happens, Arcadia's gonna stamp her foot on the ground really hard and go, ah!
and with the combination of the gold coming to life as a mimic and the Acadia doing that, Gravik's gonna like jump 5 feet back and scream like a little shrill scream.
Ay. Yeah, that was fun though.
Man, I was so close to attacking her.
I wasn't expecting that one. That's a good thing.
Arcadia, yet
puts-
again.
Put
Thank God.
put
I
somebody
was
in
gonna
front of
ask her
you.
what color her toes were, and then when she looked down, I was gonna deck her.
I was like, I didn't think you guys would fight her because but then I should have assumed that because it's still a high, powerful enemy telling you don't fight it. We're gonna fight it. I should have.
Yeah, exactly.
I should have put 2 and 2 together, but
Well, it has been like 2 months. Corbin's itching to hit something.
you just you
So
didn't
is
fight anything.
Arcadia.
Never mind, you didn't fight anything today.
Arcadia's itching to kill something too, but she's
With all your blunted arrows.
no, she didn't blunt them. She doesn't have. It's Corbin who has the blunted arrows.
No, I don't have any either. Well,
'Cause
I
once
had
she-
a few,
what-
but
Yeah, once she saw that when she was going to blunt that, once she saw that the scorpions didn't turn back into centaurs, I said she didn't bother.
Fair.
But she also is trained in, well, you would like to think that in all of her war games on Themis, you're trained to kind of assess risk-reward balances.
But all right.
I thought the witch was gonna take us out of here.
Well, she did say giving you the money.
No, she just said we could pass through safely, but she lied.
No, did she though?
Well, this doesn't look
Yeah,
very safe.
well,
at least.
wait, let me.
Well, maybe
I'll
it's
hear
safe
what
for
she
us.
said. She goes, well, because Arcadia specifically said, I'll have to listen to the stream. She said, what can we do for the party to leave here safely? And she answered something like, but it was kind of cryptic, kind of, I think once you're done, you're free to go, or something. So that doesn't. She's as tricky as the fates, I guess. I'll have to listen to what she said, but I think it was like that. In which case,
Once
this is
I'm
not her
once
going
I'm,
against her word.
once I'm done with you, you may leave, or something like that.
Right. Yeah, something like that. So yeah, that makes sense.
But all right.
That's a cute picture of a mimic, though. I have to say,
Yeah.
someone who went to all that trouble
Quite
painting that
natural.
thing. Look at all those. Boy. All right, so we'll get. Remember how to engage in combat next week for sure.
But yeah, well done.
And then Gravik was thinking that the witch was actually, I guess, kind of reasonable, and then she just basically sent him to feed her mimic.
I mean, you know, somebody did just almost start shit in her house.
I mean, she did turn people into children and torture them for 500 years. How is that reasonable?
And who's to say she wouldn't have done that with you guys if you answered the question wrong?
Probably would have.
Oh my god, that was close. Holy crap, Tyler. Coming up with that
Alright,
statement
good
in
night.
the scene. Oh my god.
All right, person.
It
Take
just
care,
seems
guys.
like a reasonable thing. Like, oh, sirens. What happened to their city? Probably sunk below the waves?
I was actually
That's brilliant.
surprised you got that one.
Yeah, because if you hadn't, I think we would have been fucked.
A little bit. But alright, I'm gonna cut the stream. So thanks guys for hanging out.
I'll see you guys next time.
Yeah.
Yep.
no.
As always, this episode will be back up on YouTube in a day or two if you didn't watch all of it. And we'll be back here next Sunday. No, he hasn't been attacked. But we'll be back here next week, and we will see you then. Until then, goodbye.